Okay, guys, we are back out in the garage working again on the JAWA 350, and we got some parts in today, so that's really good. So, decided I'm going to put some new pistons in it, and sort of new pistons, new rings, new roller bearings, etc. So that's great. But before we assemble any of that part of the engine, I first want to revisit the gearbox here. And I've been taking a little bit of a look online, and one of the things that you need to watch for, and this is going to be a little bit hard to show here, is that we want to have the clearance of this bottom gear when it's in neutral almost touching the top of this gear. And right here, it's quite hard to see actually, but I'll try to zoom in here for you guys. Zoom into the very bottom there. There we go. So right down here, oh, my finger's pretty big there, right? You'll see that there's a gap there, okay? Now, when we rotate this gear, you'll see that it's missing that other top gear, but there's still a bit of a gap there. So ideally, we want that gap to be as small as possible without rubbing. So what I've got some very, very small washers, and we're going to try a couple to see if we can get that gap just that little bit tighter. The reason for that is when the thing is engaged, the tighter we have the gap there, the tighter or the closer that all of the gears will mesh together and less likely to jump out of gear. And of course, that is the problem we were trying to solve here, because the gearbox was having issues prior. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So let me just zoom back out here a little bit, or zoom back out a little bit here. So take a look at the macro view. And yeah, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to put it on the tripod. We're going to pull this shaft out here with the gears. We're going to put a washer down underneath all of this. We're going to reassemble it and see if we've gotten it any better. So it's going to be built a little bit of trial and error, because we don't want it to rub, but we don't want there to be too big of a gap. We just want it as tight as possible. Always a good thing. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put it on the tripod and let's get after it. Okay guys, the first step here is going to be to take this shaft out. So the way we do that first is by removing this pin. Take that aside, and then we can start removing the rest of the pin here. So we may have to take this out as well. Let's take this out. Set that aside. We should be able to just pull this shaft out of here, okay? We'll put it back in the order that we had it. That's our other shift fork. This goes here, and where we're going to put that washer is we're going to put the washer right down here on the underside of this gear. Okay, this whole assembly goes together, and again, maybe it's a little bit easier for me to show you this issue now. So when this is in neutral, okay, when it's in neutral, we want this gear here, okay, that one, to almost be rubbing the top of this one. I don't know if I can quite show that to you, but we want it to be really close, okay? And so by putting a washer on the underside here, by putting a washer here, it just lifts this gear up and gets the whole thing closer, okay? So that's what we're going to try to do, but without touching, of course. We really don't want it to touch. That would be bad. But now to figure out which washer to use, I actually ordered a few of them. They're cheap as heck, so I just thought, what the hell, I'll order a few different thicknesses and sizes so we can see what works and what the best size to use is. So I'm just going to take a little bit of a look at that right now on the workbench here. So you see me fumbling around with other stuff. Yeah, it's these smaller ones that we want here. So I'm just going to put the rest of this stuff away because we don't need this other stuff and I don't want to lose it. So probably should have got all this prepared before I started the video, eh? Oh well. Case wrong. Okay, so these are actually, there's 4 of them and they're of different thicknesses, all of them very, very thin. I'm going to, because that gap seems pretty big, so I'm actually going to try 2 of these guys and we're just going to see what that looks like. So put our shift fork back in there, so yeah, so we have to do it this way, unfortunately. So I'm going to got 2 washers here, Doesn't look like I got two, but I got two. They're very, very tiny, or very thin, I should say. They're, forget exactly the tolerances, but you know, this, it might be an exact science, but with me doing it, it won't be an exact science, let's put it that way. So I may have to take that shift fork out of there, or maybe not. No, maybe I don't. Let's try to carefully set that there. Get them kind of centered. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, then we take our next gear and stick it into the shift fork. Yeah, it's never as easy as it looks, is it? This is definitely not easy. So. Okay. Okay, there's that. We'll use a screwdriver or something down. Well, actually, we got this right here. We'll just try to line it up. Line all the the washers came right out. Okay, that's not good. Ah, let's take it apart again here. Okay, that's fine. Give her another go, right? We'll give her another go. Okay. Okay. Aha. Okay, now we can center those washers in the hole just roughly so that we can get the rest of the shaft in. Rest of the shaft down the hole. Let's see what happens here. All right. Okay, we'll put our other gear in here. There we go. Good. Now that would appear to be too high now, so that's no good. Or actually, you know what? You know what? I don't think we can tell yet. We actually have to align this. That's it. So this has to be aligned inside here first before we can tell. This is one of those jobs that's going to probably take, you know, a few go-arounds to get it right. So it's just one of those things. I think it's just trial and error. So what I'm doing now is I'm just moving the shift forks around so that I can get the pin in to where it needs to go to hold all the gears and hold the shift forks in place. That's really what it is. It's going through the shift gate and then through the shift forks, top and bottom, and into a hole in the case at the bottom. So you just gotta move it around so you kind of get it. I think we might need glasses for this operation. Okay, just going to stop the video there. There's no point in you watching me struggle like crazy here. I'll stop the video and I'll come back once I get this in. Okay guys, so we've got those couple of washers in there, again, just to raise that that bottom gear up just a little bit, and I'm a lot happier with it now. So I'm happy about it for two reasons. One, it gets the tolerance a little bit tighter, which apparently is what helps these gearboxes work well. The other thing I'm happy about is before, if you recall, it was just on a brass ferrule, if you will, and I guess that's okay, but it would just seem to me that having it on a proper spacer washer for, you know, rubbing around here in the gearbox is probably better. Although you know, when we took this gearbox apart, there was no washer there, okay? We've put in 2 spacer washers, which is what these things are designed for, and that should help, you know, the shift changes and help it stay in gear better, one hopes. But also, I think just naturally the friction on the bottom there, a little bit happier having it on a proper washer. Apparently, most of these gearboxes, when they were new, they would check the tolerances like this and then add washers as they needed. I'm doing this, frankly, a little bit by guess and by golly, not knowing what the heck I'm doing too much, but that's okay. This is all part of my personal learning experience, so we'll see. We'll put it together, and if she doesn't work, well, you know, that'll be a big learning experience, but I'm trying to do the best that I can do with it, and this for me is what the best I can do. So good. So that's it for this right now. I am going to take a bit of a pause because the next step here is actually to go in and seal this up. We're going to take both sides of the engine and put her back together, okay? And to do that, we actually have to heat this up, okay? So this actually needs to be heated up. We first will go and put sealant around all of here. It doesn't use gasket material. It uses we're going to use an anaerobic sealant, either from Permatex or Loctite, something like that, around the whole perimeter. We'll heat this up until it is sufficiently warmer than this out in the garage, and that will allow it to slip over top of the of the flywheel here. The flywheel here obviously moves, but if you notice at the base here, this is where it goes into the 2 cases. Okay, this is what holds it in this case, and this is also what's going to hold it in the other case. And this tolerance is incredibly tight, so tight that if I try to put it on now, it will not go. And why don't I just show you? It doesn't go. Okay, you have to heat these things up for them to work. You have to get the con or the piston rod in the right spot. And yeah, they will not go together unless you heat them up. So that's what we're going to need to do. So that'll be a bit of work, and that'll be the next step. So bye for now. Hope everybody's doing really well.